until the last person comes into the kingdom, then there's still going to be more kingdom need to be established on earth as it is in heaven. And those people who are not yet operating from that heavenly kingdom perspective are going to be part of the problem. Now, am I going to focus on the negative aspect of what they're doing, or am I going to focus on me being part of the solution, which will eventually bring about the change and restoration of the rest of those people who are still part of the problem and still causing the wars and all the stuff that's going on in the world, which is an expression of darkness rather than light? If I get heavy with the darkness rather than shining, then I'm focusing on the negative that isn't rather than the positive that is, which is me and you and everyone else being the light that we're intended to be. So, Isaiah 60 talked about, deep darkness covering the earth. But before it said deep darkness covers the earth, what did it say? Arise and shine. Your light has come and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. So that was the solution to deep darkness covering the earth. Not, oh no, look at all this darkness. I've got to change the darkness. I've got to shush the darkness away. No, you just got to be light. Just be light. And the darkness will be transformed. If we try and keep changing the darkness and focusing on the darkness, then we get caught up in all the stuff that's going on and getting heavier and heavier and heavier, weighed down by all the negativity. Which is why I focus on enjoying being the light, love, being positive, enjoying life, having a good positive mental attitude, rejoicing. All of those things, when people see that, in spite of the fact that there's a whole load of stuff going on, which is not ideal, but I'm not going to be it's not going to take away my love, joy, and peace. It's not going to affect how I feel about God or how God feels about me. Will it move me sometimes to compassion, to do something, to legislate, to call things that be not? Yes, it does sometimes. I don't sit back idly or passively. I can be light, and me being me and me expressing me is a way to bring about change. So I'm not concerned with the darkness. I'm focusing on being the light. So I don't feel heavy or sad that there are terrible things going on until I'm moved with compassion by the heart of God. And when God moves me with compassion, sometimes I weep. Sometimes I cry in watching what's going on in the world at that moment, because I'm feeling his heart at that moment, his compassion at that moment for it. But the next moment I could be laughing, because I'm not going to be bogged down and weighed down and heavy, because he said, all who are weary and heavy laden, come to me and find rest. My yoke is easy, my burden's light. Learn from me. So I'm going to learn from him. I don't get that Jesus wandered around being miserable because the Sadducees and Pharisees and everyone else were leading everyone astray. He was focusing on being the truth, being the way, the truth, and the life would lead people to the Father. And yeah, occasionally he sort of challenged them to show them that the path they were on was not going to get them anywhere good, but out of love. Most of the time he went around with his disciples, happily smiling and enjoying creation and healing people and setting people free and doing whatever the Father heart was. And was I believe laughing and smiling a lot, even though people were dying around him and other things were happening. He was living in a different frame of mind and attitude, because he knew who he was and he knew the Father's heart. And I think that's the key, is outworking the Father's heart in relationship, which is beautiful, but it doesn't mean we have to be heavy or weighed down with all that's going on in the world. as if it's my responsibility to change it all. My responsibility is to be me. And where that brings about change, awesome. If you enjoy these videos, would you please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe? It really does help. Thank you very much.